Hi, my name is Luke Homan. I'm the founder and CEO of Contenio, and in today's video, I'm going to provide an overview of Weave. Weave is a collaboration platform comprised of two engines. The first engine is the Idea Engine, and the Idea Engine uses the power of visual metaphors and visual thinking to structure collaboration. If you've used an image like Speedboat or Sailboat for a Scrum team retrospective, if you've used an image like Prune the Product Tree or Prune the Future to help you build a roadmap, or even if you've used an image like the Business Model Canvas or the Lean Startup Canvas, all of these are based on the same principle, the use of an image to structure collaboration, and Weave supports them all. The second engine in Weave is Decision Engine, and Decision Engine is based on the idea that shared resources need collaborative processes to allocate them most effectively. What I mean by that is, let's say that you were considering prioritizing some features for a new product or service. You could ask your customers through a survey, but as the complexity of that product or service increases, how your customers interact with each other will provide you more insight. By putting them into a collaborative form, you can create better results. Similarly, let's look at portfolio prioritization. When you're engaging in portfolio prioritization, you're typically facing a problem of these many ideas with this much money. And how you choose that money is a shared decision among the group of people who are managing the portfolio. By using the collaborative platform Decision Engine, you can make better portfolio prioritization decisions. Finally, a really important use of Decision Engine is in the field of participatory budgeting, in which citizens band together to decide how to spend money to improve their cities and their government. Contenio supports participatory budgeting through our nonprofit partner, Every Voice Engaged Foundation. Now, let's look at the underlying structure of the Weave platform. At the very bottom of the tech stack is a set of shared services that deal with things like logins and passwords and certifications and credentials. At the next layer, you have the engines. Now, the engines are what provide the collaboration horsepower within Weave. And this is the dividing line. This is where we do our job. Above that line is where you do your job, starting with frameworks. A framework is the starting point of collaboration in a forum. And you will leverage both existing frameworks in Weave and build new frameworks to meet your needs. Now, a framework doesn't have any people involved with it. That's a forum. And a forum is an actively engaged framework. 3 to 8 people are working together in a single forum to solve a problem. As you can see in the slide, we run many forums simultaneously so that we can get to the final step, which is forum results. Each forum produces a unique result for analysis. If you're working with a single team, you'll need a single forum. But if you're working with a large number of people, you're going to want to use many forums and analyze the results across the teams. Collectively, we call frameworks and forum results collaboration artifacts because all three are essential for effective collaboration. Now, each forum is a unique result within Weave. And this is a very important concept. If you're used to a standard kind of communication tool where they provide online communication, you're not necessarily used to thinking this way. And you'll become accustomed to this as you use Weave. Let's look at Speedboat, for example. This is a common framework used for Scrum team or Agile team retrospectives. Here's the blank framework that each team was given. But each team created a unique result. And you can see the unique result by the different pattern of the anchors and the propellers within Weave. Now, we produced 4 forums for this company, each producing a unique result. Now, those forums are identified with a unique 9-digit code, and this unique 9-digit code is what participants use to join the forum, and it's how you will find and manage that forum within Weave. Now, this implies that there is a particular life to a forum, and this is another important concept. Normally, when we think of a meeting, we think of a start and an end, and I may not return to the meeting. But in Weave, I may have a forum that I want to return to. So the starting point of a forum within Weave is either a scheduling event or instantly starting it. I have a running form, and eventually I'm going to stop that form and look at my results. However, in Weave, I can return to that forum and I can restart it, continuing the collaboration. Now, there are times where you want to restart a forum. For example, let's say that you're working with an internal team on a product roadmap. In this case, you're going to want to start that forum, gather your ideas, put the forum into a paused or a stopped state, work on those ideas, and at the end of the quarter or at the end of the month, return to the forum and continue to enhance it. This is in contrast to how you might use Weave with market research. With market research, you might start a forum, engage your customers to get their opinions, and then stop it, preserving the results for all time. Within Weave, you get to choose how you want to manage your forums. Now, a concrete example of how you can do this is a project we did with the Scrum Alliance. A few years ago, the Scrum Alliance wanted to understand how it could grow its services to better improve its members. This is a classic case of prune the product tree. And what we did with the Scrum Alliance was we identified a suitable tree with some initial ideas. We then engaged certified Scrum trainers around the world to produce 5 unique results. There were 35 participants, roughly 7 per forum, which is an ideal number for collaboration, where there were 100 potential apples and 81 unique apples. Each forum lasted about an hour and generated the data that we needed to better understand how we could serve the members of the Scrum Alliance more effectively. Now, this leads us to an important point. When you use a framework in a forum, Weave locks that framework and prevents further editing. We do this because we want to make sure that all forums using the same framework have the same starting conditions. This makes it easier for you to analyze the pattern of results that you get from the forums. Now, it is obviously the case that you might have to go back and improve that framework over time. You can easily copy a framework if you want to create a new version of that framework and continue to enhance it to meet your needs. Now, we want to talk about the visibility of the collaboration artifacts. In Weave, frameworks and forums have 2 forms of visibility, public or private. And I want you to think about public in a very natural sense of the word. Public means any other Weaver can see it. Now, we're an enterprise software company, and we value privacy to a great degree. So private is the default option, and you have to make choices to make things public in Weave. Let's look at the choices for a framework. A framework can be public or private. A public framework is any framework that any person in Weave can use. Now, the standard results of a public framework are in fact private, which means only the people the producer designates can see the results of the forum. Now, we tend to create a lot of public frameworks at Contenio. We do this as a service to the community so the community can continue to find and use the best frameworks. However, there are a lot of times where you will want to create a private framework, tuning a public framework or creating a new framework to better meet your needs. In this case, only the producer, you, can see that framework. Facilitators and participants and other people that you designate can see that framework, but by default, only you can see that framework. Now, you'll notice that having a public result of a private framework is impossible. And that's because if you have a result, you have to be able to see the framework that produced it. So we don't support that within Weave. Now, the most common use of Weave is when you are having private frameworks tailored to meet your needs for private internal use and results. And this is the most common use of Weave at scale. Thank you for watching this video lecture.